Have you been having ridiculously long damage queues in role queue? Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa, and in this video, I kind of want to talk about role queue because we've had it now for a couple of weeks, and what issues have you guys been having with the system? Like, I think the system is beautiful. I think it solves a lot of issues with Overwatch, particularly the issue of, hey, I want to play this hero, so generally, I will now get to play this hero. But there seems to be an issue with DPS and damage queues, I guess damage to be specific, although we always refer to it as DPS for damage per second. So, yeah, Jeff, in the interview I did with him a couple of months ago, well, actually, it was quite a few months ago now, did say that, yeah, during 222 development, it's obviously and role queue, it's going to be difficult for the queue times to be reduced for damage players because, well, there's a lot of people that want to play damage heroes, and also most of the hero cast is damage for Overwatch, so it makes sense that there'd be more people wanting to play those heroes, so that's just kind of a given. Anyway, Jeff did say there's going to be longer wait times, and my question to you guys is this: is it worth the wait time? Now, I have been of the mindset of, yes, if you can wait, even if it takes 10 minutes plus to find a game, and I know in some extreme cases it can take a very, very long time, and I know that in the very low divisions, in fact, just to touch on this quickly, in Bronze, it actually takes a long time to find for tanks and supports compared to damage, because damage, a lot of people play damage in Bronze, whereas at the highest level of the game, like we're talking GM and above, and into top 500, it takes a very long time for those kind of damage players to get a queue. Like, I've seen queues that have been 40 minutes long for those players, and that's because they're incredibly good, especially the players who are like 4,500 rated, which to us as mere mortals is completely ridiculous. I mean, there isn't that many of those players anyway, so it's natural there would be an extended queue time, right? That's just kind of a given with that. Anyway, Jeff did say there'd be longer queue times on the whole for DPS, and like I was just trying to say before I went off on a mad tangent, not like me to do that, ladies and gentlemen, is it worth it? I have thought for a while that, yeah, it is worth it, because I will get a better game because I get to play the hero I want. And what I found myself doing, interestingly, is I'm actually a DPS main or a damage main, and I didn't really know this. I thought I was a tank main, but that's because I was flexing all the time to play tanks and then pick up supports back in the old days. But now, because I get to select, I am finding myself playing damage more than anything, or more than any other role across my accounts as well, which is really interesting, I think. But here's the thing: it takes me about 9 minutes to find a game. 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Longest I've seen is 18 minutes to find a game. Now, 18 minutes... okay, that's an extreme case. Let's just use the 10-minute example, because that's on average. Well, it's 8 minutes, I guess, on average. So 8 minutes for me to find a game. That's actually a long time when you think about it, because if you're waiting for matches to pop, well, you go into a game, it might be a really fast game. Let's say it's a really quick cough game. So let's say it's on Ilios, you just take the first 2 points straight away and you win. Okay, cool. That was like maybe, that literally could be a game as long as the queue that we were in. So that finishes a nice 10-minute game or whatever. And then you wait 10 minutes, and then you go into a game which is, let's say, Hanamura, or any kind of 2CP map, and, well, I guess Assault to be technical, and it lasts for, like, I don't know, 5-6 is the final score, so it's like a 30-minute plus game, and then, yeah, and then you wait again, and actually, there's a lot of time there. Like, the downtime is actually quite huge, and you're only playing a few games. So, in over an hour period, you've got 2 games of Overwatch there, if you use that as a baseline example. Now, in the past, you could probably get like 5 games of Overwatch in. It depends, like, how fast the games went, but your queues would be really quick. That's not the case anymore. Now, this is going to be my thoughts on this, guys, and I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments below. But what I've found myself doing is, this might sound crazy, I actually do waits in between while I'm waiting for the queue. So when the queues pop in, like for DPS, I'm like, okay, you know, I'll do some of my waits. I do other work as well. So because I've got a few monitors, I'll bring up some work and I'll start writing ideas down for videos, scripting up videos and stuff like that. And it's quite nice for me. It's like this little break that I'm getting. But thing is, if you've come home from work or from school or from wherever you've come back from and you want some entertainment time, do you really want to be sitting there looking at these queues? It's kind of like, where do we go? There's 2 different trains of thought here. There's the thought of, hey, it's worth the wait because you'll get a better quality game. And then there's also the, well, I don't want to be waiting for most of my playtime to get a game. And I think there's going to be people in both camps here. Now, Overwatch Role Queue is going to be live in a few weeks' time, and that will be it. Whatever changes they make to it, it's going to be interesting to follow. I think DPS and damage queues are slightly long, and it would be nice if they were reduced in length, but how can they do that? You know, I found myself as well watching, like, I generally watch Defran. I really like watching Defran stream. And, you know, I watch Chips. The Chips are sometimes, I like seeing a bit of Doomfist because he's so OP, but whatever. And I watch these players, and more often than not, they're forced to play support instead of DPS because they can't sit there for a 40-minute queue while they're live streaming. Well, you can apply that to anybody. You know, do you really want to sit there for an 8-minute queue, let's say in Platinum DPS, when you could take a literal instant queue for support? So here's the other knock-on effect of this, which it makes the player base better at the game, because the game is kind of holding you to ransom in a way. Sounds extreme terminology to use, but the game is saying to you, look, yeah, sure, you want to play Genji, but if you play a tank, I'll give you a game straight away. Or if you play a support, I'll give you a game straight away, or really fast, like literally a 1 or 2 minute queue, pretty much how it used to be back before role queue came out in the 2-2-2 meta. So you end up evaluating what you're doing. And I've noticed with these really high level DPS streamers that they will gravitate towards playing support, or they will maybe play some tanks just because they want to get into games. Obviously, it's easy for players who do play tank and who, like, people like XQC and whatever, generally not too difficult for them to find games, but more centered around the damage guys. And I think that in time makes the player base more higher skill, because if you understand what the other roles need to do and you're playing them at a relevant level, because remember, we have the individual SRQ, then it makes you a better player, right? If you understand the kit and how you should be using that kit of a certain hero at any given time, as the fight breaks out, and let's say there's an Ana on the enemy team and you've been playing a lot of Ana, and maybe you're Genji, you might look out for the sleep dart, you might look out for the nade, more so than you would before, because you didn't really play her. Even though you know she's got those abilities, you're not really in tune with it. And this goes back to the whole thing of having an Overwatch brain, being able to read the play, and all of that stuff, which is a massively complicated subject just in and of itself. Like, I mean, that is something you could literally talk about for hours. But I feel, hand over heart, role queue is working for me. But what I want to know, guys, is it working for you? Are you having a better time playing Overwatch role queue? And I want to know if you've come back to Overwatch because of role queue. How have you found out? How have you found it even? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Because I am struggling to find negative, like really negative breakdowns of role queue, but I want to know what you guys think about the queue time specifically, especially for damage, because across most of the tiers, damage is the role which takes a long time, and I want you to honestly answer if you have been playing other roles just because it takes too long for damage. Guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa, and on the topic of liking the videos, it really helps the videos. I can't stress, guys, how much that helps the videos. It really does. It's insane how much it helps, so do like the video, but only if you like the video, and sub to the channel and tap the bell so you get alerted when videos go live, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.